Do you not have a parking pass because you're pinching pennies or simply because there's not enough parking on campus? Well, I'll show you exactly what to do so you won't end up here. Once you download the Park Mobile app, simply apply this parking zone number, pay for your spot, and you're ready to go. Students at the UNT Recreation Center are used to getting free access. However, things have changed this summer. Hi.
Hi.
Students are required to pay $78. UNT students have been warned to take precaution this week as police investigate a number of sexual assault cases located near the University of North Texas campus in Denton. Women that are living in the surrounding areas are fearful for their lives at all times of the day. There's no suspect description besides that the man has a large build. Victims told police that they didn't know the man, who reportedly entered their homes after knocking on the door, in some cases breaking in and even dressing as a delivery man. In one recent case, a woman woke up and found a man on top of her in her apartment around 4 a.m. in the 2300 West block of Hickory Street. In an alert sent to students, faculty, and staff, UNT advised people to lock the doors, deadbolts, and windows, urging them not to answer the door late at night for a stranger, traveling in groups, and not walking alone at nighttime. People walking on campus are able to call a police escort by 940-365-3114. Dallas FBI investigators confirmed early Sunday morning the death of 13-year-old Siobhan Randall, the Lancaster girl who went missing and was the center of an Amber Alert. The body of a man who was initially a person of interest was also found with ambers. In a live Facebook video posted by the city of Lancaster, Eric Jackson, special agent for the Dallas FBI office, stated that the officers had found the bodies inside a home in Dallas early Sunday morning. The bodies were of Siobhan Randall and Michael Titus, 19, who was initially a person of interest in the girl's disappearance last week. Police concluded their investigation at the home Sunday afternoon, and the medical examiner's office removed the bodies. Titus's death had been ruled a homicide from a gunshot wound to the head. Randall's cause of death is still unknown. Lancaster Police Department and the FBI arrested Devontae Owens and Laquan Wilkerson, who was recently identified as an additional person of interest on Saturday, July 1st. Two other people identified by Lancaster Police on Thursday as people who may have also have knowledge of the abduction, 25-year-old LaPortia Polly and 26-year-old Darius Fields, are said to have been talking with investigators. The FBI says that the public helped investigators locate them. Randall was last seen in the 1300 block of Southridge Drive at about 10 a.m. Wednesday, July 28th. Police issued an Amber Alert that day, indicating that she may be in grave and immediate danger. Brickett said investigators were able to trace Randall's cell phone location for a while before it was turned off. Investigators are currently checking locations in those areas for photos, video surveillance, and witnesses who may have also seen the girl or suspect vehicle. Hi, I had a couple of questions for you. First and foremost, I just wanted to know, what is your definition of love?
My definition of love is that feeling in your core when you know you really care about someone and you're willing to do anything for them.
Same. Okay, so do you feel that you can love multiple people at the same time?
Yes, but in different levels. Level of friendship love, you're willing to do anything for your friend, and then that level, that higher level love where you're I'm willing to do anything with this person and I want to spend the rest of my life with them. Okay. Yeah.
Totally agree. Thank you so much. So I had a couple questions for you. First and foremost, I wanted to know what's your definition of love?
My definition of love is caring for someone, having that deeper emotional connection with that person. Also, my definition of love is getting to know that person on a deeper level, whether that's the financial aspect, whether that's willing to travel if you live in a long distance relationship. So that's my kind of definition.
Okay, and then second, do you feel that you can love multiple people at the same time?
Absolutely. I know, right? But I do think you can love multiple people just because you do have your family, your mother, your brother, your father, things like that. But I think you can also love your ex-boyfriend, but not having that deep,
nothing to do. Yeah, you want to
having that deep emotional, but having that love and care for that person. Where if they reached out to you, you're more than welcome to go out there and kind of seek them and see what they got going on.
Make sure they're good. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but not having that
Oh yeah. Oh well, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
All right, so I had a couple questions for you today. First and foremost, I wanted to know what's your definition of love?
My definition of love would be that love is a choice. Love is an action. It's a verb. It's something that you do, not necessarily something that you feel. And it's loving someone is putting their needs above yours.
Okay. I like that. Do you feel that you can love multiple people at the same time?
Sure. We all have family and friends and kids that we love. probably romantically we should stick to one, but
No, honestly. Maybe that's best.
maybe that's best. But loving one person encourages you to love another.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
No problem.
Today I'm here with Joshua Skinner, a UNT student that has quite the rap sheet in the military. First and foremost, Josh, I'd like to thank you for joining me today and, talking with me for a bit. It means a lot.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, Hayla.
So, tell me a little bit about your Merchant Marine Academy experience from 2006 to 2010.
A little bit of background. I applied to the Naval Academy in 2005. Did not get in. I went to a Service Academy Prep School, applied this next year in 2006. I did not get in again, though I did receive a congressional nomination. I also got a congressional nomination to the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. I was accepted into there. I still wasn't sure if I was going to go there, but I wound up going there because they promised me the ability to play football there. And so I did that. While there, it's basically just like any other military school or what you imagine with the Naval Academy or West Point. It's very militaristic. We had a big indoc before the school year started. We had a lot of marching responsibilities, watch responsibilities. We also did trimesters as opposed to semesters. So instead of like a normal school year, we had an 11-month school year with 11-week trimesters. And I graduated in 4 years, 3 academic years with 172 credits.
Wow, that's quite a rap sheet. So you've been a part of the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Merchant Marines for over 10 years. Can you give us a little bit of insight on what your duties were or what they are?
When I was in the Merchant Marine and the Navy, my duties have kind of crossed. So I have a Merchant Mariner's license as an officer, and I also have a commission in the Navy, originally as a second lieutenant. Now I'm just a straight lieutenant. But as an ensign, and now I'm a lieutenant. Trying to figure out how to say this. I work on board vessels. I drive them, but I can drive Navy vessels or I can drive the civilian component of the Navy's vessels. Now, the Navy has their military side. What most people don't know is they also have their civilian side that transports the oil, that transports the tanks from San Diego to Iraq or to wherever. I worked on board those. I made sure that those worked well, made sure that everything went as smoothly as possible in the logistics operation. I also worked for Military Sea Lift Command shoreside, where I helped move different types of weaponry and ammo to allies for their own little wars that they were fighting. And that was probably my favorite part of the job, getting to do those things and going to visit a little bit more of the exotic places.
Okay, and that was actually going to be my next question. Alongside your military experience, you're actually a world traveler too. I wanted to know if you can give us, a story if you'd like, or just, give us some insight on your experiences, just traveling the world.
It definitely gives you a different viewpoint than I would say probably most people in America. The United States, just by its nature of having 2 oceans as borders, is a little bit more internationally isolated than most other countries. At the same time, you don't really think about it growing up here, but when you leave, you see how homogenous other countries are. Scandinavia, Israel not so much, but Scandinavia, a lot of Australia, definitely humongous swaths of South America. They're all very, very homogenous where everyone's the same. Here, not so much. My favorite, I would actually probably say the kind of coolest experience I had was up in Norway. And I was working on an operation where we were actually pushing a ship up through the fjords of Norway. And we were moving there, and there's just this kind of surreal moment where the ship is slowly navigating through the fjords, and you're just thinking how cool this is to see and how few people actually get to do what you're doing. And I think that was probably my favorite moment.
So as you know, obviously the 4th of July was yesterday and everyone was spending time with their family, enjoying their quality time with them. Tell me, what do you think the 4th of July means to you, or how do you celebrate it?
Okay, to piggyback a little bit off the answer I just said, I personally, I'm not a huge partier or celebrator. I'll have a beer, I'll watch fireworks, I'll launch all that kind of stuff. But the significance is definitely deep. I feel that, especially with my travels around the world, that the United States is the greatest social and economic experiment in the history of mankind. The idea that all these different people from all these different places could live together in one place in relative harmony. Now we have people from different places, and so it creates a series of problems that most countries don't have. And sometimes we don't exactly know how to deal with those problems. But the fact that we continuously address them and try to solve them, sometimes in our own different ways, I believe makes us great. And so the fact that the individualistic attitudes of the country, that each person anybody from anywhere can come here and make something of themselves, is something that you don't find in most places in the world. And to me, the 4th of July is a great symbol of that individualism and that work ethic and that come-togetherness that the United States has.
What makes us unique. Oh, well, that's awesome, Josh. I want to thank you again for taking time out to talk to me, and yes, thank you.